It's really hard to tell here because the GoPro shakes so bad, but you can see as this deer runs, if I freeze it right there, my arrow got right behind its front shoulder, nice and low. It's either a good lung shot or a double lung, maybe heart shot. I'm super excited about that placement. It's a little farther than what I'd like to have normally shot, well beyond my last flag. Either way, it looks like a good shot. So, about an hour ago, maybe just over, I was sitting up there in that blind, and a doe with 2 yearling walked by, and they were being followed by what I think is my 10, maybe it's my big 8 that I've been watching all season. And he was right up in here, so that last flag there is my 20-yard flag, so maybe just over 30 yards. And I have a 30-yard pin on my bow. Typically not the distance I want to be shooting, but I shot, and on camera it looks like I had pretty decent shot placement. You can see he really dug in right there, right here, as he took off. And I watched on camera, you can even kind of see the track still, but I watched on camera, and he came right up here, jumped over this whole mess. You can kind of see where he dug in here even. It had just got done raining too. And I'm not following any blood yet because on my way up to the house, I left my arrow right here because there is blood here. So I left my arrow at it, and I'm gonna place a flag here. If I can get a flag out, I'm gonna place a flag right at that blood. So now I know, looking back, that there is blood there. I mean, obviously, there's those tracks. It's not like there's a question as to whether or not there's blood. But I got more blood there. It kind of helps give you a good idea of what you're doing here. There's blood. What is this? Is this a chunk of something out of him? Chunk of meat? Holy crap. Okay. So this is the game we're going to be playing. Tracking this buck. Hopefully it'll lead to finding this buck. Obviously, if I've got big obvious tracks like that and that, this is heard a branch snap. I'm like, holy cow, what was that? It seems like I have to walk past the blood to find it. See, I'm way back here and there's some blood down there. I didn't see any of that until I got to right here. Right there. There's some there. Do I see any farther up ahead? Is that blood? There's blood and a slug. There's some, there's some, there's some. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm gonna put a flag there. There's a little bit there, very little amount. There. I keep hearing noises, and I don't know what they are. Look at that tiny little speck of blood right there. But if I don't mark it, I might lose it. Well, now there's more up here, so I'm going to move this flag to right there. There's more, there's more. There's some. Something's happening. Is that my deer? Or is it really just walnuts crashing and falling? Okay, just to give you an update, I've come this far, and I've got some blood here. Just this little dab right there. There's more just beyond it. There's some right there. There's some right there. There's some here. If I don't see any super quick, I'm gonna mark this one right here. Now I see a little bit right. No, I don't. Right there's some, so I'm gonna mark this one farther up, right there. And I shut the camera off a minute ago because I keep hearing what sounds like crashing through just beyond all that overgrowth in the woods. But I really think it's just acorns or walnuts or something just crashing down. It sounds like someone's out there smashing logs, but I don't think it's my deer. I really just think it's stuff falling out of the trees. Anyways, back at it. There. Well, I'm gonna mark this farther up spot. Right there. I've got some, just a little spot there. There's not a ton of blood, but there's enough for a trail at least. I'm gonna mark this one. I've got like 100 of these markers, so is what it is. Here's an update for you. You can see the line of flags goes way back in there. I just came up through this. I don't know what these things are, but they stick to my clothes like crazy. I absolutely hate them, but I walked right through them because the deer did. I'm up to right here, and now it's grassy, and this grass is wet, so this blood might have a harder time showing up in this wet grass. So I'm gonna super concentrate on this and try to get through here, and then I'll update you again once I'm through this grass. Made it through all the grass, and unfortunately, like, the blood is hit or miss splatter wise. So I've got some right there. I've got some right there. And I'm sure there's more that I'm looking right at, but he came up on more solid ground. So I've been using his tracks, like those are probably his tracks right there. I've been using his tracks to find the blood because he's digging in so much because he was such a good sized deer. And since it just rained, the ground's soft enough that that's been a huge help. Well, I thought I lost the trail. I was in a bit of a panic because it looked like he turned off that way. But I came up over this hill, and here's my arrow. There's some blood. There's my arrow. We're gonna put the tack there. Let's see. We should be decent penetration. Stick that baby in the ground. Let's figure out where he went from here. Look at this brave, fat little squirrel. Yeah, that's right. I'm right here. You're like 10 feet away from me as I'm tracking this deer. Whew. Another quick update as I get more and more nervous. I found my arrow. I'm up to here. we still got decent blood. Now that I'm finding it again, it stopped for a minute. But he's heading towards the corn. So we'll see how this goes. So it's really hard to tell. My flags are way back there. I lost blood and just started walking. I came to the nearest deer trail and there's some pretty thick bright blood there. We've got some more right there. Right there. It's all over. Right up out into the weeds where I just freaking jumped him and he took off very, very slow. But he took off and he went that way. So I'm going to give it some more time and then I'm going to come back out. It's already been like 3 hours. I wouldn't have thought I needed to give it any more time, but apparently I do. So I'm waiting. Holy crap. I'm shaking. He's right up here ahead of me. I tracked him originally and I lost sight of the blood. I couldn't find any more blood. And he hopped up and he ran. Like he ran slow, but he ran. Whew, you can see the camera's even shaking, I think. And I went back up to the house for like another hour, hour and a half, because I'm pretty sure it's a good lung shot. But maybe it's just a bad lung shot. But I came out and couldn't find any blood, but I found what's definitely his tracks. And right up here, just around this curve, he jumped up and then he fell. He can't run. Or at least, he's given up on running. He doesn't have the strength to run far, but I'm sure if I walk right up on him, he'd take right off. So I'm just gonna sit here because he's so close. Like if he lifted his head, I'd see him right now. He's so close. So I'm just gonna sit here and wait. And slowly, very slowly moving in on him. I'm pretty sure he's done. But like very freshly done. Within minutes, not even. I don't see him breathing or moving. His eyes are open, so I feel like he'd be long gone by now if he was still alive. Problem is, if he's not, he's gonna come right at me. He's facing this way. But I'm pretty sure he is. Oh, what a deer. Holy cow. Holy deer. What do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is just an 8 point. This isn't even my 10. My 10's still out here somewhere. Well, hot damn. Big deer, though. This is gonna help out the food pantry a ton. Great way to start off the first week of the season here. Look at that. Of course, by the time I found the buck and the buck had expired, it was already dark. Jared hopped on the tractor and he drove the tractor down the trails that I have through the woods back to where the deer was at. He was really close to one of the trails, so it made it pretty convenient to get him with the tractor bucket and get him back up to the house. This is by far the largest buck I've ever taken with a bow, and probably one of the nicest looking 8 points I've ever taken. This was a really excellent afternoon sit, and it just goes to show that You don't have to hunt just mornings and evenings. 3:30 in the afternoon, and this buck walked right by.